Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Oh, absolutely. Always ready to dig in.
Well, today we're heading into the world of, well, I guess you could call it music royalty.
You mean?
Yeah, we're talking about Beyonce and Jay-Z and, of course, their daughter, Blue Ivy.
Getting a glimpse into the lives of those who grew up with that level of fame, huh?
Exactly. We've got some really interesting sources for this deep dive, too. Heartwarming moments, a bit about Blue Ivy kind of stepping out on her own, and even a pretty serious legal situation.
Sounds like a real mix then. Should be interesting to unpack all that.
So let's start with something, I guess, pretty lighthearted. Imagine, right, you're at a huge Hollywood premiere. Lights, cameras, the whole scene.
Okay, got the picture.
And there, on the red carpet, is Blue Ivy Carter, all of 12 years old, totally solo, posing for the cameras.
Wow, that's quite the image. Makes you think, is this orchestrated or is she really kind of going her own way there?
I mean, it's hard to say for sure, but one thing the sources all agree on. The look on Beyonce and Jay-Z's faces, pure pride. Beaming, clapping, totally focused on her.
And don't forget, Grandma Tina Knowles was right there too, even making sure Blue Ivy's dress was, picture perfect.
It's like, amidst all the craziness of Hollywood, you can still see that they're a family. You know what I mean?
For sure, but it's not just a family night out. Don't forget, Blue Ivy, she actually has a role in the film, Mufasa, right?
Yeah, voice acting role. Both her and Beyonce, actually. And Beyonce even posted on Instagram about how talented Blue Ivy is and how hard she worked.
Okay, so this is more than just showing up for a premiere. This is maybe a career move, even at 12 years old. But is this something she really wants? Or something, I don't know, maybe being pushed on her?
Right. It really makes you think about their different paths. I mean, Jay-Z came up battling, struggling, and now you have Blue Ivy potentially stepping into this huge role, every advantage you can imagine.
It's a totally different world, and you wonder, will she be seen as her own artist? Or always in her parent's shadow?
That's got to be tough. But, before we get too deep into that, there's something else we need to talk about, kind of a darker side to things.
Uh-oh. What's that?
It's a bit of a contrast to all this celebration. There's this serious legal situation right in the middle of it all. Jay-Z is facing a lawsuit from a Jane Doe, accusing him, and Diddy too, of assault.
Whoa. Okay, that's pretty heavy stuff. And of course, this alleged incident supposedly happened way back in 2000 at an MTV VMAs after party.
Yeah, like 24 years ago. And in his response, Jay-Z said he's really concerned about his family, especially his kids, having to, explain all this.
You can imagine how tough that must be.
Absolutely. And, Jay-Z is fighting back hard, wants to get the lawsuit thrown out, wants the accuser's name to be made public.
Pretty standard legal moves in cases like this, right?
Yeah, but it makes you think. Is it to protect his own reputation? Or to try to shield his kids from all this?
It's gotta be both, don't you think? And it just shows the crazy situation celebrities are in, always watched, always judged, and their families get dragged in.
And of course, we have to remember, this is an allegation. Both Jay-Z and Diddy, their legal teams, they deny it completely.
Absolutely. Just laying out the facts here, not taking sides or anything.
And actually, Diddy, he's dealing with his own separate legal issues too, unrelated to all this.
Right.
So we've got, Blue Ivy in the spotlight, proud parents, this legal drama, all happening at the same time. It's a lot.
It really is. And, speaking of family, remember Tina Knowles? She was at the premiere, everything seemed fine. But online, well, things got a bit strange.
Yeah, it's like a whole other layer to all of this, and we're going to dig into that next time.
It really does make you think, doesn't it? About Blue Ivy, I mean. You see her sort of starting out, and she's got all this, privilege, right? But then on the other hand, life throws these curveballs.
Yeah, no kidding. It's like this huge celebration, this, very public debut, and then bam, this legal thing hanging over her dad. Hard to imagine what that's like at 12 years old.
Especially when you think about it, like Jay-Z even said he's worried about all his kids, Having to have those conversations with them, explain what's happening, protecting them from all the craziness.
It's like, it's not just one person affected, the whole family gets pulled in.
We see that all the time with these high-profile families, don't we? The kids, they kind of become, almost collateral damage in these scandals.
It's like they have to grow up so much faster, learn to deal with stuff most kids don't even have to think about.
And it's not just the emotional side of it either. You think about their reputations, their own futures, maybe even careers. It's like this shadow that follows them, even though, they didn't do anything.
Totally. And this case is, even more intense because both Jay-Z and Diddy, they're fighting back hard. Denials, lawyers, the whole thing.
It's what they do, right, in these situations. Gotta control the story, make sure their side gets out.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like,
Drama.
does it makes you think things worse? I mean, would you trade
Keep it in the
places?
news
Honestly,
longer?
could backfire. I don't know. But
Makes
there
people
is
wonder,
one
are
more
they
thing
hiding
about all of this I find really
And
interesting.
it makes you
We were talking
wonder,
about
are they
Tina
doing this
Knowles
for
earlier,
themselves?
right?
Yeah, she was at the premiere also.
Or are they really thinking about their kids first?
Tough question. I mean, how do you balance protecting yourself with, thinking about what your family's going through? It's like a lose-lose situation.
And it all goes back to that whole fame thing, doesn't it? You get all the good stuff,
Yeah.
but then this is the price you pay.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword for sure. You trade, normal life for all this scrutiny and, well, drama.
It makes you think, is it worth it? I mean, would you trade places?
Honestly, I don't know. But there is one more thing about all of this I find really interesting. We were talking about Tina Knowles earlier, right?
Yeah, she was at the premiere, all smiles.
But then online, things took a strange turn. Like she's living a whole other life there.
Oh yeah, this is where it gets weird. All right, so Tina Knowles, remember, she's at the premiere, right? Everything seems, well, normal.
Right, supportive mom, grandma, the whole picture.
But online, it's like a totally different story.
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting. So there's this Instagram comment, right? It's basically defending Jay-Z. And Tina Knowles liked it.
And of course, the internet noticed. I mean, it's Tina Knowles.
Exactly. And then later, she's saying her account was hacked.
A hacked account? Come on. Do you believe that?
I don't know. It's like, was it an accident? Maybe she just slipped up? Or something else going on here?
I mean, think about it. Her family's in the middle of all this. Maybe she just wasn't thinking.
Yeah, it's easy to do online, right? One click and suddenly, boom, everyone's talking about it.
But then there's that other possibility. Maybe she did it on purpose.
Whoa, you think so?
Yeah.
Like as a way to show support for Jay-Z without, actually saying anything.
It's possible, right? Like a subtle message, but everyone picks up on it.
It's like a whole strategy. And it just shows, how these families, they have to think about everything they do.
It's crazy. Just a like on a comment can turn into this huge story.
And it all goes back to that idea we were talking about, right? Public image. Everything matters.
Yeah, it's a constant pressure, I bet.
For sure. And I don't know, it kind of makes you feel for them a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, they're real people dealing with real problems, but they're doing it with the whole world watching.
Exactly. And I mean, think about it. That's got to be tough.
No kidding. So let's recap. We've got Blue Ivy kind of stepping into her own, but with all this family history.
And then there's this huge legal battle, allegations, denials, the whole thing.
And then, Tina Knowles and the Instagram, it's all connected,
It is like a glimpse into this whole other world.
It really makes you think about how, how complicated fame can be. And how it affects, well, not just the famous person, but everyone around them.
Yeah, it's definitely not all glitz and glamour, huh?
Nope. Lots of stuff going on behind the scenes. And who knows what's going to happen next.
Exactly. It's a story that's still unfolding.
Well, on that note, that's it for this deep dive. We'll be back soon with more, I'm sure. Until then, thanks for listening.